He's a force of nature. Made the All-Star team last summer for the first time since 2019. Big save by Bames. So Kaut has been sensational. 13 stops. Now just 5 shy of the single-game record. He's kept the chaos in this.
Yeah, back to Dylan Malloy. His Brown days as Knobloch buries one. He was one of those guys, Anish, you like watch on tape, and you're like, okay. And then you see him in person, and it's like, oh, whoa, this is a whole different story.
Yeah, Tewaaraton Award winner back in 2016. Led Brown to the Final Four. There's Malloy barreling through Glacini. He gets shipwrecked. Challenge flag by Spencer Ford.
Holy shit, it was.
They're on the iPad.
Hey, great job. Great job for challenging that rule.
Let's go. Come on. Give me that.
Are you responsible for that?
Yeah. No, this guy right here.
Victor?
It's a duo.
What'd you see?
So what are they looking at here, Ryan?
I saw his foot rarely come back in a different angle. That's how he shoots the ball. But it's there.
Are we challenging another two-pointer?
We just went through this, and we got the clarification at halftime. A two-pointer cannot be part of a coach's challenge. If Matty Palem and the crew wants to look at it at their discretion, they can.
Listen, it's a 2.
I know, it's an automatic review. How does that work?
The two-pointers get reviewed at the end of every quarter.
So, unlike summer,
You cannot review. We went through this already. They did it the first time. You cannot review whether it was a 1 or a 2 during gameplay. This will get reviewed and cleaned up at the end of the quarter. That's not something that a coach can challenge.
in the future, they will be automatic. Okay, so.
So each team gets one, and we're going to call it.
The previous goal was a 2-point goal, and Redwoods will keep the ball with 11 seconds on the shot clock when the challenge flag was thrown. Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
We got to get back to the rules here, Ryan. The idea was not to interrupt play.
Exactly. So
this isn't about whether it's a 1 or a 2. That's going to get cleaned up. The idea is to keep the game flow. You do it at the end of the quarter. McAdory shoots low. Another save by Kaut, up to 14. Carolina with its first lead now.
And McAdory relatively quiet. Just one goal. He did have 2 assists.
There's Knobloch again. That was another 2. Stephen Brooks was probably thinking, wait, Anthony Kelly challenged it. Why can't I challenge it? We're in the 2 wrongs make a right phase. Here comes McAdory. Bouncer offline. And not to belabor the point, Ryan, but it's more about getting rid of an unnecessary interruption in game. It's not really.
It's of no consequence.
It's of no consequence. It would get cleaned up. Bertrand, Eicher, shot fake. That's a 2. Shot deflected. Scott retrieves. Dancing, shaking. Eicher from long range. Notes there. Save number 11 for Matt Note. Eicher's attempted 5 twos so far. He's connected on 1. And another called back and ruled a 1. McAdory against Glacini. Balkersell, he's got some speed and shake. Balkersell swishing down the alley. Malloy inside the arc. Missed wide.
And you could see the effect of Austin Kaut playing that high arc, getting in Malloy's head a little bit. Sees less of the cage, feels like he has to be more precise, and then misses it entirely.
Aslani into Scott. Scott inside the arc. Body saved by Note. Off the chest protector. Romar Dennis for two. Missed badly.
Tough angle there. Would have liked to seen him work his way towards the middle of the field as opposed to going down the alley, decreasing that shooting angle.
Knobloch with a 4-point afternoon. Cole Williams stopped by Note.
Everything from the perimeter right now.
California 0 for 6 shooting in this third quarter. Chaos leading for the first time today. Bame to a cutting McAdory, not there. Both of these teams played yesterday.
And you're starting to see that effect, I think, a little bit coming back out after halftime. The adrenaline is waning. Legs are starting to feel a little bit heavier. This is where Eicher with fresh legs, expect him to have a little bit more pop.
Eicher with a high bouncer. 4.5 to go in the third. Eicher's been the aggressor, 10 shots, most of any player today. Dennis calls Malloy out of the box. They've got Malloy, Dennis, and McAdory on the field. Denenza, shot fake, foot on the line, save, count, rebound Malloy, no. Count now at 15 saves, 3 shy of tying the single-game record. Matt Note at 13 saves.
And it looks like a small thing, but the wily veteran kind of slow to pick that up, allowing the substitutions. Right, there's win the whistle, and then there's winning the whistle by going slowly.
Knobloch against Farrar. That's a great matchup. Farrar can match feet with anybody. Scott tries to play it back. Bertrand retrieves. 1 on the shot clock, and a shot clock violation.
We got a bit of a rock fight here in the third quarter, and he didn't think that was possible.
Feels like a chaos
6
regular
seconds.
season game, doesn't it?
Both of these teams last night had the luxury of playing against an opponent
Denenza stopped by Note.
that played the night before. Now they're feeling that reality.
16 saves now for Austin Kaut. That was Kaut with the save.
Fair to assume he's going to break that single game record.
Not on that one. Mikey Bame ties it at 11. Austin Kaut right now at 64%. Matt Note at 59%. These are absurd numbers for goalies in this format. Williams defended by Rice. Drives down the right side. Missed the cage entirely.
Again, small sample size with one game, but you extrapolate that across a tournament. The highest we've seen is 48%. Scanoni back in 2023. Minimum of 40 shots seen.
McAdory on the inside, and Malloy puts it home.
Back-to-back possessions by California where they've been able to generate quality looks. Bame, middle of the field, and here, Dylan Malloy on the doorstep. You can see him kind of extending his stick to increase that shooting angle, reaching around Kaut.
Timeout, Stephen Brooks. Malloy with 3 goals, McAdory 3 helpers. Malloy only has 13 touches.
And that's what he had last night. Very efficient.
Let's go under the helmet with Christian Scarpello.
Everybody talk! Everybody talk! The reason I would ever say go is like if he pops, I know I'm going, and then it would be a dunk behind it. But it's true. It's all right. It'll break soon. It'll break soon. That's a great possession, Clay. Kirk, that's a great job. Spence, that's a great possession.
Scarpello, one of 4 players on Carolina with previous championship experience. You think back to his time with the Water Dogs a couple of years ago. Really stout defender. Has got a little offensive punch to boot. And he had 5 points in that tournament a couple of years ago. And I like him as a more big picture pickup.
Knobloch ties the game at 12. McAdory the other way, shoots quickly. Scarpello signed by the Chaos right before the new year.
McAdory had a streaking Farrar. I feel like you got to throw it to him just to reward the effort and hustle there.
Tied at 12, Ross Scott. Picked up by Rice. Bertrand had 6 goals yesterday. Free with the left hand. Puts the Chaos back on top by 1. Outlet to Tevlin. On a bounce. Tevlin saved by Count. 17 for Austin Count.
I think it's safe to say the Chaos found a little bit of their mojo here. Back-to-back goals running a weave at the top. What do you think about that, Ryan?
Well, they don't really have, as Perkovic buries one, they've got a bunch of guys in terms of contributing and to get them all involved. You know, Knobloch has been kind of the alpha to date. But I like the weave just in terms of flow.
Malloy to Mikey Babe. Nifty. Wassini out of a double team off the stick of Bertrand. It comes to Dennis, 50 seconds. Romar's been quiet today. Without a point, 0 for 5 shooting. Former Golden Stick Award winner. There's McAdory. Now picked up by Aslanian. McAdory gets the step, as he always does. We're tied again at 14.
Finally able to get his hands free there. We've seen Carolina slide to him super quick there. They were late, and he made them pay.
Chaos can pretty much hold for 1. Knobloch against Tevlin. Knobloch swashbuckles down the alley, gets inside, beats Note low. Shane Knobloch cooking. That's goal number 5. Final ticks, 2, 1. We go to the 4th quarter. The Chaos with a 15-14 lead. So twice now on back-to-back nights, the Chaos have taken a lead.